This is a really marvelous old sacred tree that I found, and from the flowers it seems to be one of the syzygium, I think, though it's a new tree to me. I'd been observing this tree for quite a while, and wondering what it is. So now it has flowered. I have to get the idea. I don't know the species name and all. The leaves are quite leathery and soft and smooth. Then flowers are aromatic. Very beautiful flowers. And the tree is also a giant. This is one more little sacred grove, and once again it reinforces my point. You can never see this kind of gigantic old trees in public spaces, like even forest department and all. They are not there. The girth of these main branches is huge. It must be, circumference itself will be about some 3 feet. That is the upper branch. And even though road widening happened, somehow it has got, of course, sacred groves have a special place in our Hindu culture. And as long as Hindus are there in India, these sacred groves will be there. For us, it is very important, Hindus. Seems to have some kind of a growth on the leaves, type of a wart. So it involves a little bit of climbing down, but we'll go down and have a closer look at this. Really marvelous tree, and what an aroma. And I think there are 2 sacred trees here. One is this mimosups also is there, and that too the height is perfect for me to photograph, because the highway is at an elevation of about some 25 feet from the base of that sacred grove. And even the smallest of sacred groves, this one is some 300-400 feet by 50 feet maybe. But they house so many rare species. If not for these sacred places, we would have already lost lot of species, quite sure. And that too, this type of old trees are impossible to find. I've been watching trees for almost since my early childhood. And this kind of girth, that too our native species, only the sacred ones are left of this size. This without just scientific education is never going to convince people to save all these type of trees. It has to be part of the culture and cultural outlook. If that is there, then that reverence for nature, respect for nature, and nature as a divine creation, as a symbol of God's perfection, all these type of feelings are there, and then that automatically ensures, even though people have to, development and all is part of our, it's inevitable, but sacred spaces can be kept. This one is a small Nagavana. It's been revived also, I can see, because that structure doesn't look too old, but they have kept that sacred tree on the corner, because in the Hindu belief system, all these trees, they host sacred energies and all. And this little sacred grove, it has at least some 50-60 species are there. Climbers, small herbs, and of course this type of a marvelous giant. And many of these sacred spaces, they have a special vibe also. For those people who are very sensitive to nature and all, they can feel it. There's flowing water nearby. Though it's also getting polluted a little bit, still the water is clear. And I think there's one more sacred grove just across there. In no other country you'll find so many sacred trees like India. Every village, town, inside the biggest of cities, in the heart of the cities also, you will find one small remnant sacred grove will be there, even if it consists of one tree. The larger big sacred trees were there in Coorg, and some of these places, they all got encroached. And then once the secular government comes in there, and that secular education also, the scientific education for all its benefits, it treats living things as just, except humans, everything else is just kind of dead matter. So it's all right to cut, destroy anything. Anyway, this was a beautiful sight. I hope these trees live long and well, centuries. Now I'll wind up the video by having one last look at those flowers. This is that Mimosupsalangi, Selangi. Two of them are there. This is also solid. It's very valuable wood, so it's been spared because of it's in that sacred compound. There are a couple of nice orchids also here. This orchid I have never seen before. New one to me. It's a nice aroma also.